Hey folks, welcome to FiddleHed Fiddle Lessons. Let's play a little tune called Groundhog. Groundhog lives way down in a hole. Groundhog lives way down in a hole. He's gotta hide away from the cold. Oh, Groundhog. Alright, so we're going to learn to play a very basic version of an old-time tune called Groundhog. We're going to go into a little bit about how to play backup for it so you can sing over it or back somebody else up. And then I'm going to preview a variation of the tune as well at the end of the lesson. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it myself. And so, well, we'll just get started on it. A lot of the tune uses a simple hoedown rhythm. But then in my version, I also use a rhythm which I call tucka, short, 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 long, long. Whereas hoedown is long, short, short, long, short, short. Tucka is short, 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 long, long. A good warm-up would be to alternate between those two rhythms. Hoedown, tucka, 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 hoedown, tucka, tucka, tucka. And then you could do that on your own with scales in different ways. You could do that whole cycle on each note of a scale. Or you could alternate those patterns as you move up the scale. I'm on D major right now. Actually, let's do G major because that's what key the song is in. My version anyway. So starting hoedown on open G and then tuck on G1, hoedown G2 and so forth. Check it out. You could even break those patterns up further. Alright, so this is just some fun scale ideas to get you going. Remember, scales don't have to be horrible. They can be a lot of fun. Sometimes I get so into playing scales, that's all I do in a day. So, I'm not saying you have to be as neurotic as I am about them, but I do think that if you hate them, you can learn to enjoy them. Alright, so we're going to get started. I've broken the main melody into quarters, and so we're going to learn the first quarter. I'm going to do it very slowly and then break it down for left-hand fingering. Left-hand fingering breakdown. And there we had the hoedown pattern followed by the tucka. Alright, let's move on to the second quarter. Same thing. Left-hand fingering, breakdown. So, moving on. Oh, before we move on, notice that that has the exact same rhythm as the first quarter. Bar of two hoedowns, followed by the tucka. Third quarter, slowly, it's all quarter notes. Broken down more for left-hand fingering. If you're a beginner, then this A1 to D3 might be hard for you, so I recommend doing that more, practicing that with more focus. If you've taken my recent lesson on circular bowing, use this as an opportunity to practice circular bowing. It'll be a counterclockwise motion going from the high string to the low string. can also practice holding down that D3. And then not holding it down. Both skills are useful. So again, the third quarter, where we're at, just to bring you back, I like to go on these little practice journeys. And now we're going to return to the basic third quarter. Okay, cool. Let's do the fourth quarter. Broken down for left-hand fingering. So the last bar is all hoedowns. The bar before that is 2 half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this might be a good tune if you're learning to read sheet music. I think this would be a good tune. In general, simpler tunes are just to practice the reading skill. Practice your intuitive reading skill of reading while listening to a play-along track. And that's pretty much how I teach learning to read sheet music on FiddleHed. The more intuitive approach, before you learn the rules and the theory, you just let your brain naturally read on its own by listening and watching. And then your brain magically puts it all together. I'm not a neuroscientist, so I don't understand how the brain does this, but I know it does it. Okay, so you have the whole tune pretty much of the fiddle part. Now I want to just talk briefly about how to play backup. So if you're interested in playing backup for others or for yourself even on songs, this would be a great song to start with because there's only one chord in the whole song, G. You could probably make some other chords work, but really G works very well for the whole thing. So to play that G chord, the easiest possible G chord is G and D strings together, open strings. Notice I'm just planting my left hand here, beginner position. Focused on bowing, just taking the left hand out of the equation, simplifying the whole process. And I'm further going to simplify it by not doing any complicated rhythms, like simpler even than hoedown, just quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll try to sing a little bit of it. So I just want to talk about the lyrics for a sec. The original lyrics are about heading out into the woods with your dog and a shotgun to kill a groundhog, then eating it, and then watching the grease run down your sister's face. So it's like, here comes Sally with a snigger and a grin. Here comes Sally with a snigger and a grin. Groundhog grease running all down her chin. Oh, groundhog. That's pretty gross, right? You've just gone and killed a groundhog and now you're eating it and grease is running down your face? Ugh. So I don't personally like that verse. I'm not even a vegetarian. Most of the time I am, but it doesn't even matter. Groundhog grease running down your face is gross. But on the other hand, these old-time tunes, the lyrics are more about fun and they're just goofy, and they may not have actually had groundhog grease running down their chin. It might have just been like they're making up verses on the fly and that just came out. That's what I hope anyway. I hope they didn't actually have groundhog grease running down their chin. So, but there's another version of the tune by Elizabeth Mitchell and Lisa Loeb. I think it's kind of a children's album, but I really like their version. The lyrics don't creep me out quite as much. And their lyrics are, groundhog lives way down in a hole. Groundhog lives way down in a hole. He's got to hide away from the cold. Oh, groundhog. So I'm going to stick with those lyrics. Sorry to all those traditionalists who like the hardcore version. And again, let's just return to the most simple thing you can do. In fact, even simpler than doing a double stop would be to just do open G. Groundhog with quarter notes. Groundhog lives way down in a hole. Groundhog lives way down in a hole. He's got to hide away from the cold. Oh, groundhog. And then you could add double stops. Groundhog lives way down in a hole. Now that may still be very, very challenging. And so I have an idea to make it even simpler for you. Groundhog. And maybe even a step simpler, just sing it. Groundhog. And then do those two things together. Groundhog, groundhog, groundhog. Another idea is you could sing the whole first line. Groundhog lives way down in the hole. And then play it. The backup part. Keep alternating just like that. And then you just kind of take a stab at putting them together. Groundhog lives way down in the hole. Groundhog lives way down in the hole. And that's really the essence of learning songs. You kind of have to separate all the parts. Really the essence of learning anything with music. How can you simplify? How can you separate and practice different things and slowly integrate them? You could integrate them on a single bar, and then on a bigger piece, and then on the next piece, and so on and so forth. So anyway, the last thing I want to do with this lesson is I've been working on a variation lesson, which I hope to do soon. So on and so forth. So stay tuned for that. It should be coming on the FiddleHed site soon. All right, cheers. So long.
Go to FiddleHed.com for a progressive, step-by-step course outline, color-coded tabs, play-along tracks, sheet music, and much more.
Thanks for watching the videography. Excellent.
And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.